Hi, my name is Enrique Ramirez, and today we're going to talk about the basic convention of lines for engineering drawings. We will define which ISO norm is the one that applies for this matter. But first, I'll briefly explain what ISO is. ISO, the International Organization for Standardization, is a worldwide federation of national standards. The work of preparing international standards is normally carried out through ISO technical committees. Each member, body interested in a subject for which a technical committee has been established, has the right to be represented on that committee. ISO collaborates closely with the International Electrotechnical Commission (IEC) on all matters of electrotechnical standardization. ISO 28 was prepared by Technical Committee ISO/TC10, technical drawings, product definition, and related documentations. It contains generally applicable rules for the representation of lines in all kinds of technical product documentation. The application of lines within drawings of special technical fields varies considerably. Therefore, rules of applications are not given in the part of ISO 128. It establishes the types of lines, their designations, and their configurations, as well as general rules for drawing of lines used in technical drawings, for example, diagrams, plans, or maps. According to this norm, a line is a geometrical object, the length of which is more than the half of the line, width and which connects an origin with an end in any way, for example, straight, curved, with or without interruption. Line element. Single part of a non-continuous line, for example a dot, a dash, which vary in length and gaps. A line segment is a group of two or more line elements which form a non-continuous line, for example a long dash, a gap, a dot, etc. So, we know that the lines of varying style and thickness are used in specific ways to develop and communicate graphic messages. But up next, I'll show you some basic line conventions and their use. The lines shown are to be used in all mechanical drawings. The corresponding AutoCAD line type and line weight are given next to each line type. Visible object lines, hidden lines, section lines, center lines, dimension lines, extension lines, cutting plane lines, break lines, phantom lines, and chain lines. Construction line. Very lightly drawn lines used as guides to help draw all other lines and shapes properly. They should be heavy enough to see but light enough to erase easily, since they will not appear on your finished drawing. Object lines. Lines are thick and dark, used to define the object. Hidden line. Lines used to show interior detail that is not visible from the outside of the part. Center line. Lines that define the center of arcs, circles, or symmetrical parts. They are half as thick as an object line. Center lines are composed of long and short dashes alternately and evenly spaced with a long dash at each end. They should extend at least 1/4 in outside the object. Section lines. Lines are used to define where there is material after a part of the object is cut away. Short break line. A freehand drawn line that shows where a part is broken to reveal detail behind the part or to shorten a long continuous part. Dimension lines. Lines that are used to show distance. Arrows are drawn on the ends to show where the dimension line starts and ends. The actual distance is usually located in the middle of this line to let you know the distance being communicated. Extension lines. Lines used to show where a dimension starts
and stops on an object, used with dimension lines to properly dimension an object. The line is 1/16 of an inch away from the part as not to get confused with the object lines. Long break lines, used to shorten every long objects that do not change in detail. The line is usually represented as a jack cut or break. Leader lines. Leader lines are used to show dimension of arcs, circles, and to help show details.
Though these standards refer to technical drawing, they should be used in freehand sketching as well. When sketching complex objects, different lines will overlap each other. Therefore, line precedents must be executed. The following are rules that govern the line precedents in sketches and technical drawings. Rule number 1 is the object line take precedence over hidden or centered lines. Object lines take precedence over hidden or centered lines. Hidden lines take precedence over centered lines. And last, cutting plane lines take precedence over all other lines.
So here you can see how object lines take the precedence over the hidden lines, and an object line here takes the precedence over the center line. Object lines take precedence over the center lines you would see from the hole. Object lines take precedence over the hidden lines you would see from the slow cut out in top view.